is basically to be a voice and an ear for our teachers, our principals, staff members, our community as a whole, to bring fresh and innovative ideas, to be approachable, hear the concerns, and voice the concerns of those who have concerns to our administrators, and hold them accountable to make sure that they bring plausible resolutions. While in the military, as a Master Chief Instructor and as a First Sergeant of a drill sergeant company, and also as the First Sergeant of a student company, I have heard countless of similar stories to graduates who have graduated from our high school and who have come to be a part of our military. After I graduated from the military, after 25 years, I wanted to continue to further to teach, to coach, and to mentor these future leaders. So in that, I joined the school board system. And I've also come with a saying. Frederick Douglass said that it is easy to build strong children than to repair broken men. So my job while I'm here is to basically hold them accountable and be a good part of this school board. Thank you. And I ran out of time. I'm a preacher, come on.
Right on.
The red card means 5 extra minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Quinn. All right, we will now move on to our first question. Each of you will have 3 minutes to answer. What is the district's area of greatest strength and area of greatest weakness? We begin with you, Ms. James.
I am not a preacher, but I talk too much, so this is probably going to ramble. Not that he rambled, but that I will.
Thank you.
I think there are several strengths and weaknesses that deserve to be mentioned tonight. I think communication is probably one of the top ones, and I don't mean communication from teachers to parents. I mean communication from administrators to teachers. As a sub, I heard multiple complaints from parents and from teachers that communication is just not there. I think student safety is also a weakness. We had an incident recently at the school, at the 6th grade center. If you don't know about it, you can look it up on Facebook. I don't want to mention it again. But I have asked since 2017, when my oldest daughter graduated, why we don't have metal detectors. We are super close to the interstate. We are super close to the fort. That is something that definitely should be looked into. Transparency is also a big issue. Information is readily available on the website, but it takes 4 jumps and TI double gutter and 2 cartwheels to find it. I feel like it should be a lot easier to find. The website is not very easy to navigate. And then probably one dear to my heart is the arts. I don't think we don't have enough funding for the arts. Our band program is phenomenal. They are consistent award winners, bringing home multiple medals and trophies. We have miniature Picassos in our schools. I've subbed for every art at every building except for Williams, and I'm telling you, these kids are phenomenal. We need more funding for them. I don't know where to get it, but that's something that I could learn while being on the school board. How do we get that? Do we write grants? Do we beg? Do we borrow? And I want to end with strengths. I believe one of the biggest strengths that Waynesville has to offer is the amount of opportunities that it provides for its students. And not just our students, but area students. We have the WCC, culinary, cosmetology, welding, mechanics, photography. I could go on and on. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of time. We have so much that we offer our students and other students in the area. And our teachers. I have met some of the most amazing teachers in this district that I've met in my entire life, and I'm a military kid. I've met a lot of people. I could go on and on about our teachers. We also have some pretty amazing administration that make it fun to be in the building, and I'm going to end right there.
Thank you, Ms. James.
I want the record to show I beat the timer.
Noted. Mr. Pondrom.
Thank you.
The school district's greatest strength, without question, are its people, our staff, our students. Nearly 1,000 of the most educated and highly trained staff in the area work diligently every day to ensure our 6,000 students not only receive the best education possible, but strive to make sure they have clean buildings in which to learn, ensure they safely get to and from home, and are fed nutritious meals each day. I sincerely appreciate and applaud every district employee who works to ensure that every student is cared for and encouraged to be their best daily. I cannot thank you enough. Funding is also a strength of our district. With an annual operating budget of approximately $75 million, the district is well positioned to provide premier educational facilities, competitive salaries, and a wide array of programs for our students. However, only 30% of the funding comes from federal sources, including basic impact aid and B2 heavily impacted aid. The B2 aid has been instrumental to providing funding to ensure our students have first-class facilities to learn and our educators can work. The diversity of our school district is also one of its top strengths. With a diverse student body made up of 57% white, 14% black, 13% Hispanic, 11% multiple race, 5% Asian, American Indian, Alaska Native, and Pacific Islander, and 38 languages spoken by our students, they all bring a unique perspective from across the world to provide a diverse learning experience here in Waynesville. Opportunities for improvement lie within any organization, and our school district is not immune. Employee retention and recruitment is a top priority. Retaining high-performing employees is essential to the success of the students. Social and emotional support for students and staff is also critical to their success. Programs are in place at buildings, and finding ways to enhance the utilization and effectiveness of these resources is important to the well-being of both the students and staff. Closing the learning gap in ELA and math, especially in algebra, are areas where improvements can also be made in the classroom. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pondrom. Mr. Quinn.
This question I really had to do a lot of pondering because what I've heard thus far is, and as I begin to look over the years that I have been a school board member, there's a plethora, there are so many great strengths that this district have. I think they're doing an amazing job as far as connecting with the community, getting the information out there. We have spent numerous of hours planning together how to make this school a lot safer. The administration that we have in place, our superintendent on down has done a phenomenal job. And saying all that, you know, try to depict one out of all of that, I had to really begin to look at how this administration has been expeditious as far as pursuing the right tools and willing to make those changes in order to make sure that our students are educated, are safe, and a lot of other things as far as our staff members having all the right tools that they need. But if I had to point out one weakness, I really have to point out diversity. I think although we do have a large amount of diversity as far as our student staff, I feel that we still need to work on getting more diversity in our staffing, our teachers, and our administrators. So I can talk all night as far as the strengths that the district has, but I want to mention that one weaknesses that I see, and that we are working on that. There has been many of plans in place to get more diversity within this district, but yet we're still falling short, and we need to work on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Quinn. Mr. Griffin.
All right. Well, a lot of the things that I have here have already been said, but I'm going to go over them anyway. I would like to begin with our biggest strength is our diversity. We have a wide variety of ethnicities, races, and backgrounds. With us having a large population of the military students, we have a unique opportunity to interact and learn from different cultures and backgrounds, and also us being able to partner with Fort Leonard Wood. Another strength that our district has is our strong access to the most recent educational technology. This allows us to offer a large variety of educational opportunities, such as our AP and dual enrollment classes, along with the WCC that offers multiple classes such as cosmetology and nursing that were already mentioned, and the PLTW, the Project Lead the Way classes. Our after-school programs are a strength that is offered at all levels to our students throughout the district. And it keeps the students engaged and safe during their transition between school hours and home. Our district's weaknesses have to be communication, we've heard that, and accountability and staff retention. We need to focus on all types of communication from district administration to the students of our district. Clear and open communication from everyone will cut down on a lot of problems. This leads me into accountability of the administration, faculty, parents, and students. We as a district need to start showing that we are willing to hold everyone accountable to perform at a high level. Hopefully, by doing this, it will help us in the next area, I feel, which is retention. We do have a high overturn of faculty, but we have to boost the morale. Not that it's bad, but we have to cut down. The military is part of our retention because we lose a lot of our teachers due to PCS and going to other duty stations. And COVID-19 has impacted us as well. So hopefully, if we can keep our top-notch teachers, our kids will learn from top-notch people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Thank you to all our candidates for those thoughts. We're moving on to our second question. You will have 3 minutes again to answer. What are the top 2 or 3 things which most impact student achievement, and how can you, as a board member, influence or support those items? We begin with you, Mr. Pondrom.
Thank you. I believe the top things which most impact student achievement are curriculum which challenges and engages students and teachers in smaller class sizes, educators who are enthusiastic and committed to student success, parental or guardian involvement in communication with educators along with low student absentee rates. Student success is a collaborative effort between the school district, the student, and their parents or guardians. It is not the sole responsibility of the school and teacher to educate students. It's a team effort which begins with the student, teacher, and the student is supported at home to reinforce classroom instruction. Board members can influence student achievement by ensuring educators are fully supported by administration, develop sound policy to guide the direction of the district, ensure sufficient funding for classrooms, and have class sizes where teachers can effectively teach and manage students. Board members should also encourage and support positive school environments which increase teacher morale, and educators have the flexibility to teach and foster student learning. To make wise decisions for the district, the board must stay focused on what the role of the school board is, and that's simply to establish the goals and vision of the district and evaluate the results, develop policy to help schools operate for student success, evaluate the superintendent, which is the only employee the board supervises, approve the budget proposed by the superintendent, and ensure funding supports district goals. However, nothing happens by the will of one board member. We are a team. We collaborate, we agree and disagree on a variety of issues, and evaluate all the information available to make the best decision for our district. The Board of Education carefully evaluates every situation and determines the best course of action for all students and staff in the district.
Thank you, Mr. Pondrom. Mr. Quinn.
What are the top 2 or 3 things that most impact student achievement, and how can a board member influence that? I put number 1 is having the right educational tools that caters to the uniqueness of our students. We have a diversity here, and we need to make sure that we have the right educational tools, that we are catering to the uniqueness and the diversity that we have here. I, as a board member, if re-elected, have ensured that student, teachers, and staff members are equipped with the right educational tools to excel and to be successful. Number 2, I see mental and behavioral health is a big part of achievement as far as our students are concerned. And we, as a board member, we have hired good mental and behavioral health specialists, and we have voted to implement many tools to assist, identify, and aid those who have mental health needs. And number 3, safety in an environment that breeds impartiality. I have been a part of the selection and voting process to acquire new safety equipment to protect our district. And I can go on and on, but those are the 3 major things that I see as far as student achievement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Quinn. Mr. Griffin.
Thank you. The top 3 items that I have that have the greatest impact on our student achievement is differentiated instruction, student-centered, and data-driven instruction, and the best current research-based practices. I strongly feel that differentiated instruction is the most important so that we are meeting the needs of all students. I personally have seen the difference in differentiated instruction on students. I have a son that has a learning disability, and I have seen firsthand how a teacher that uses differential instruction in the classroom, it helps students to be successful. When instruction is tailored to the different needs of students and the success and positive relationships form. The second item that has a strong impact on student achievement is a student-centered and data-driven classroom. When student-centered classrooms are in place, the instruction will focus on the student engaging in the content and not how the teacher delivers the content. This will help teachers gather important data that will guide their instruction. When teachers are effectively collaborating with their peers, they are able to build their educational toolbox. Allowing teachers the time to gather important data and revise the instruction to meet the needs of their students will have a tremendous impact on student learning. However, we can't be so data-driven to take away our teachers' ability to build positive relationships with our students. Lastly, providing teachers the opportunity to research and learn from the most effective and current instructional practices, we keep our teachers pushing our students to be as successful as possible. I will be supportive of increasing the opportunities for teachers to build professional development, not just inside the district, but by traveling to see the firsthand from the best educators in the United States. We want to provide support for our teachers and allow them an opportunity to grow as a professional.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Ms. James.
Thank you. There's tons and tons and tons of research out there about what impacts student achievement. And while I was going through a bunch of scholarly articles trying to find some reliable information, there are 4 things that stuck out to me that apply to this district and our students. Classroom management, teaching for learning, parent involvement, and believing that all students can learn. And from the very end, or for the very last one, believing that all students can learn, I believe that our teachers are the epitome of that statement. I have subbed in every building except for Williams, and I have not heard one single teacher say anything different than that they believe every single student in their classroom can learn. And I think that's pretty outstanding. Teaching for learning, this is more for the policymakers who aren't listening to me yet, but I will get their attention. Let the teachers teach. Stop making policies for them to teach to the test, because a test is only one avenue to get information. And for the students who are not good test takers, it doesn't give us the whole picture of that student. For students in the middle of trauma, being removed from their home, being placed in foster care, losing a parent, losing a sibling, being involved in an accident, that does not give us the whole picture about their success in that year. We need to fix that. And not just us, every school nationwide needs to fix that. I am a former social worker. I don't know if you can tell, this stuff is pretty near and dear to my heart. It makes me very passionate. Classroom management, I think our teachers do a pretty good job of that too. I'm sorry, I just got distracted. I think our teachers are pretty phenomenal at that. But I really want to hone in on parent involvement. That is what it's going to be. There is nothing that we can do to change that. As a social worker, I have seen people on their very worst day. Imagine your worst day and amplify that by 10. Imagine being woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning by police beating on your door and dragging you out of the bed and taking you to a stranger's homes with just the clothes on your back. These are the students that are in Waynesville School District. Pulaski County has one of the biggest foster care to non-foster care ratio in all of Missouri. Mr. Deering can attest to some of that. I think that we should partner with our local social workers, juvenile officers, and trauma specialists to create ways to help these students and parents feel safe so that they can in turn focus on education. Because when you don't feel safe, you don't care if your homework assignment gets turned in. You don't care if the beep is going off. You do not care about any of that. And as a board member, I would be willing to volunteer my time to do research, oh my God, on different schools in Missouri and nationwide, report back to my board president and other board members to see what they are doing, how they are exceeding, and how we can improve ourselves to move up in the national ranking.
Thank you, Ms. James. Thank you, candidates, for those comments. Finally, you will each have 2 minutes, 2 minutes to deliver your closing remarks. We begin with you, Mr. Quinn.
All righty.
Lead the way.
2 minutes. I got
Yes,
this.
lead the way.
You know, to be honest with you, as a former board member, I have had an amazing time working alongside some amazing people. And in this district, we have done some amazing things. As a military soldier, I have traveled to different districts. I have 2 kids that have graduated from this district, and I have seen a bang-up job as far as catering to pandemics, catering to all of the different policies and all of the different standards that have taken place. So it is an honor really to be a part of this school board and working alongside of this, not just this staff, but also this community. And we have a caring community that is concerned about our school district. So being a part of that and working with this district and also this community, as a licensed therapist, I do get a chance to see some of the traumatic experience that our students go through, and not just the students, but the teachers as well. But they are resilient, and we have great programs in place to begin to cater to what we see and what we notice and what we're dealing with. And since I've been a part of this board, we have built a solid foundation, and of course there's always room for improvement, but we have the flexibility, we have the experience, we have the knowledge, we have the desire to bring about those changes that are needed. By electing me, it allows me to continue to be the ear and the voice of our principals, our teachers, staff members, our students, our parents, and also our community. Once I retired from the military, I worked in the district as a mentor and an after-school worker, and I've had an opportunity to listen to our principals, our staff members, our students, and our parents. And if I am reelected, I will continue to listen to them and continue to bring that knowledge to our school board. And together, we will make those necessary policies, necessary rules in order to keep our children safe and educated.
Thank you, Mr. Quinn. Mr. Griffin.
I promise I will not go over 2 minutes.
That's what Quinn said.
Quinn said.
Those are famous last
I didn't
words.
write anything down in my closing remarks because I wanted what I said to come from my heart and where I am. And as I'm sitting here, the word that comes to my mind is commitment. I'm committed to learning more about how the board works and what things we need to do to be successful. I'm committed to being there to help our educators educate our children. I am committed to safety for our children. I'm committed to our community. And if elected, I will be committed to work with my teammates who are on the board. So I leave you with commitment.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Ms. James.
I am not the smartest. I don't know a lot about a lot of things, but I know people. I know that when people feel heard, that can change the entire atmosphere that you're having the conversation in. When people feel heard, it makes them feel valued. I want to help people feel heard. I want to be open. I want to be available. I also stealing David's word, I want to be committed to this school district, our teachers, our administrators, our students, the people who elect me. I believe that with innovative minds, open, direct, and honest communication, we can make this school one of the best in the nation. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen with me by myself, but I believe that we can get there if we work as a team.
Thank you, Ms. James. Mr. Pondrom.
I've dedicated my adult life to public service and giving back to our community. I've spent 25 years of my life serving as a law enforcement officer. I understand how to manage conflict, build relationships, and work as a team to achieve goals. 11 years leading our youth coaching soccer, basketball, and softball. 23 years working directly with school districts throughout Pulaski County to provide classroom and outdoor education programs, fishing clinics, hunter education, and firearm safety classes. The last 3 years serving as a member of the school board, advocating for our district and its students. What you will get from me if I'm reelected are commitment, accountability, integrity, and common sense. I'm dedicated to our schools and community to make them a better place for us now and for the future. Our school district is not about any one student, teacher, administrator, or board member. It is about every child, teacher, and employee in our school district, and creating an environment which fosters student learning, development, and achievement. Our community is blessed to have exceptional staff serving our children to help them realize and achieve their fullest potential. This is what I believe and will continue if reelected. Sustained academic excellence, the safety of students and staff, and the development and retention of world-class employees are expectations of both the families and the employees of the district. This is what I believe and will continue to support. The Waynesville School District has a strong history of leadership and accomplishment, and I look forward to contributing to its continued success. I am thankful to be a part of this process and would be honored to receive your vote on Tuesday, April the 5th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pondrom. This concludes our Meet the Candidates forum. We would like to thank our candidates for participating tonight. Mr. David Griffin, Ms. Melissa James, Mr. Aaron Pondrom, and Mr. Charles Quinn. Audience, please give a round of applause to our candidates. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending this evening's event. We also want to thank our streaming audience watching live on TigerTV's Facebook page. A special thanks is extended to Mr. Wallace and his TV journalism students for broadcasting this evening's Meet the Candidate Forum. Damon Carter, Chance Eastman Towns, Antoine Fowler, Colin Simontel Brummett. This broadcast will also be added to the district YouTube channel. We hope this evening has been useful in helping you choose the best candidates when you vote on April 5th. I'm Kelly Gard, and on behalf of our Community Teachers Association, I want to wish everyone a good night.